Drake Maye, not Drake the rapper. It is Drake the quarterback Maye. This is Sports Guy talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about how Drake Maye will perform against South Carolina. Drake Maye has been an incredible quarterback for UNC as he has developed into one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. However, UNC's defense has been a major liability as they were the reasons for why UNC was unable to sustain their hot streak last season. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So here it is. Will Drake Maye lead UNC to victory against South Carolina? And that will be dependent on how Drake Maye will perform. If Drake Maye performs great, then UNC will win the game. If Drake Maye performs poorly, then UNC will lose the game. When UNC played football last year, Drake Maye had the ball out in every single win. If Drake Maye had one okay game, or if Drake Maye had a bad game, then UNC lost the game. Why is UNC so dependent on quarterback play? Because of the fact that UNC does not play great defense whatsoever. Actually, let me correct my statement. UNC plays zero defense whatsoever. For whatever UNC scores on offense, UNC gives it back on the defensive end of the field. It's like watching Mike D'Antoni coach college football. When you think about Mike D'Antoni in the NBA, what do you think about him? You think about how his offenses are prolific and how they score at will and how they play zero defense. Well, think about that for UNC as well. UNC is one of those teams where they will score a ton of points and they will also give up a ton of points. UNC is one of those teams where if you score 50, you might actually lose the game because of the fact that the defense might give up 51 points. UNC literally does not take the definition of defense seriously. UNC, they literally use their defense as a bathroom break for the offense because of the fact that the defense allows scores so quickly. But let's see what's going to happen to UNC's defense this year. They're supposed to be improved from last season, but honestly, anybody could have improved from the defense that UNC had last year. That UNC defense that they had last year was absolutely pathetic. And I'm saying this as a Tar Heels fan. I'm a UNC guy all the way, but UNC's defense was simply pathetic. I mean, it was painful to watch. They could not stop FCS teams. They could not stop teams that were beneath them. They were letting teams that were worse than them into games. We freaking lost to Georgia Tech because our defense was terrible. If Drake Maye doesn't play at a generational level type of talent, then UNC is going to fall apart. I remember UNC started out 9-1 last year, and I was thinking, man, this is a team that could sneak into the college football playoff. We just got to get our defense together. We just got to keep our stuff together, and we got to be able to make sure that Drake Maye can continue to play awesome football for UNC, but that didn't happen. Not because Drake Maye couldn't play, which by the way his numbers went down, but because of the fact that there was too much pressure put on Drake Maye. Drake Maye had way too much to do, and he had way too many responsibilities as a redshirt freshman. Drake Maye did what he could do considering all things. I thought Drake Maye was incredible for UNC last year. I thought that he was the second best quarterback in the country. Only Caleb Williams was better than him. And speaking of Caleb Williams, I want to talk about the 2024 NFL draft real quick because of the fact that Caleb Williams is a generational talent. He is basically a lock to be a #1 overall pick for whoever ends up with the first overall pick, while Drake Maye, on the other hand, looks like he's going to be the QB2 behind Caleb Williams. He might even be the second overall pick, depending on if the second overall team has a quarterback that they need. When I look at Drake Maye, I like his game a ton. He reminds me of East Coast version of Justin Herbert. He has a can for an arm. He can run the football. He can sling that thing downfield. He's accurate with the ball. Not really any weaknesses that you see in Drake Maye's game whatsoever, which, by the way, Drake Maye, he went to Myers Park High School. Why is that significant? Because that's basically about 20-30 minutes from where I live. So my guy Drake Maye lived pretty close to where I live. Drake Maye is a guy that is an athlete. He's an athlete first, quarterback second, but that's not to say that he can't play quarterback, because Drake Maye can absolutely play quarterback in the college level, and I think he can do it at the NFL level too. Drake Maye doesn't have any weaknesses whatsoever. He is a man amongst boys. But will Drake Maye lead UNC to victory? That's going to be dependent, like I've said, on the defense. Can the defense stop South Carolina? Because I do respect South Carolina a ton, and I do think that South Carolina is an underrated team. I can't believe that South Carolina isn't ranked because of the fact that they finished last year really strongly, and they have a good roster this year. They've got Spencer Rattler, who is an underrated quarterback. He became overrated, then now he's underrated. Kind of a little weird to me, but Spencer Rattler, he can play. South Carolina, they got a good offense. Shane Beamer, excellent head coach. Seems like South Carolina has actually formed an identity on offense. Defensively, they're still not that good either, but you know what? They're not necessarily the worst in the world. They have a better defense than UNC, but again, that's easy to do when UNC's defense is quite frankly pathetic. They're not USC level bad on defense, but they're plenty bad enough. Now, as far as whether or not Drake Maye is going to play awesome against South Carolina, I believe he will. I believe Drake Maye will play really good against them, even though he has lost Josh Downs to the NFL. Now, you look at the offense for UNC, I'm thinking about the running back situation. They got 5 starting caliber running backs, and although they don't have a superstar running back, I like the running back room. British Brooks, he's been pretty good. He's listed as the RB1. I know he hasn't played in 2 years, but if he can get on the field, he'll be a solid addition for UNC. They've got Elijah Green. I like him a ton. They got that Hampton guy. He can play. Caleb Hood. He's going to give them solid depth at the running back position. And George Pettaway, he showed some signs that he could be worth something at UNC. So I'm thinking about the running back room. I'm thinking this is definitely a passable running back room. And then I'm looking at the receiving room. Yeah, they lost Josh Downs to the NFL, but they still got Nate McCollum. They still got J.J. Jones. They've got Kobe Pastor, and they've got Gavin Blackwell. They still got 4 receivers that I can say, you know what, we could absolutely run this air raid thing. Now, I've kind of grown into a pretty big air raid guy because of the fact that I don't really like running the football against stacked boxes. I like to put my playmakers out in space where they can go one-on-one against defenders, and when that happens, especially with the rules in today's football, that's going to be a massive disadvantage for defense. And obviously at the tight end position, I love who they got at the tight end position. Bryson Nesbitt, he's going to be really good for them. They've got John Copenhaver, good player at the tight end position as well. And don't forget about Kamari Morales. He's no scrub either. When you look at UNC's offense, I say that they're pretty stacked, and I love their offensive scheme. I love their air raid offense. I love that they're not afraid to sling that thing, because what do you win in today's football? You win in today's football by being able to throw downfield and being a throw-first kind of quarterback. Now, obviously, the quarterback is an elite athlete, then obviously you use your quarterback on quarterback runs, which, by the way, Drake Maye can do that pretty well too, even though they don't need to do that because Drake Maye is already an amazing passer. Drake Maye is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He is an already incredible leader. I expect him to ball out against South Carolina. Come Saturday, I'm actually going to go to the ESPN College Game Day pregame show on Saturday. I'm actually going to attend there, so I'm going to have a lot of fun over there, which, by the way, they're coming to Charlotte. I'm actually going to go ahead and watch them. Then I'm thinking about how UNC's got the primetime slot. They got the 7:30 p.m. game. I'm hyped up to see South Carolina go up against North Carolina. It's going to be the battle of the Carolinas. I remember the last time it happened on opening day, it was Sam Howell's debut as a true freshman. Great ending. I love that game, even though the South Carolina quarterback got hurt. His name was Jake Bentley, which, by the way, his brother right now is a friend of mine. His name is Brooks Bentley. He is one of the quarterbacks at Wingate. Hopefully, he's going to be a starting quarterback for Wingate sooner rather than later, because Brooks Bentley is really good. I liked a lot of his game from the high school that he was from. He was a winner. He knew how to protect the football really well. So shout out to my guy, Brooks Bentley. If you're watching this, then you know that I got your back, because I know that you're going to be an amazing quarterback. You might be a future superstar quarterback at the quarterback position in Division II. So let's see what's going to happen. But Jake Bentley, yeah, he was a solid quarterback. A shame what happened to him in that game. But what about the ending in that game? For Sam Howell to come through in that game and for him to make that fourth quarter comeback, that's going to be awesome. And why did I bring that game up? I'm bringing that game up because I got a repeat of that happening. I got UNC making a fourth quarter comeback against South Carolina. It's going to be a shootout. South Carolina's offense is good. UNC's defense is still not that good. That means they're going to allow a lot of points. And as for UNC, they're going to show up offensively. I like the offensive weapons they have. I like Drake Maye. I think Drake Maye is going to have an amazing game. I don't think South Carolina's defense is going to have any answers for them. But I think that South Carolina will be able to outscore UNC early on, and that it's going to be 38-34 late in the game, where Drake Maye will have to drive his team 70+ yards down the field to win the game. And what will Drake Maye do? He will do nothing but make another fourth quarter comeback, as he will drive UNC down the field, and he will throw the game-winning touchdown to one of these receivers. I'm going to say he's going to throw the game-winning touchdown to J.J. Jones, but I don't really care, because the important part of the story is Drake Maye will throw the game-winning touchdown to make sure that UNC will win the game by the score of 41-38, as Drake Maye will complete 73% of his passes. He'll throw for close to 400 yards. Let's just say it's going to be 385 yards. He's going to throw for 4 passing touchdowns. He's going to add another 40 rushing yards on the ground, because Drake Maye is also a pretty good runner. I got Drake Maye playing an amazing game against South Carolina, and I got him having the clutch gene in him, because that's the kind of dog that Drake Maye is. So let's see what's going to happen. I got UNC winning the game by the score of 41-38. I'm already excited for the ending of this game. So that is why Drake Maye will lead UNC the victory against South Carolina by the score of 41-38. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That'll be for the @Dustin Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @Dustin Tran and Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @Dustin Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, Check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.